especially about red rooms and tie-ups. I got her hooked, cause she see me in a suit with a red tie tied up. Rita Gris, nice to meet you, but time is money. Only difference is I own it. Now let's stop time and enjoy this moment.
One day while my light is glowing, I'll be in my castle golden. But until the gates are open, I just wanna feel this moment. I just wanna feel this moment. I just wanna feel this moment.
I see the future, but live for the moment. Makes sense, don't it? Now make dollars, I mean billions. I'm a genius, I mean brilliance. The streets is what schooled them and made them slicker than Slick Rick the ruler. I've lost a lot and learned a lot, but I'm still undefeated like Shooter. I'm far from cheap. I break down companies with all my peeps. Baby, we can travel the world and I can give you and all you can see. Time is money, only difference is I own it. Like a stopwatch, let's stop time and enjoy this moment, darling.
One day while my light is glowing, I'll be in my castle golden. But until the gates are open, I just wanna feel this moment. I just wanna feel this moment. I just wanna feel this moment.
Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great Tuesday. Austin, what is going on the calendar this week?
Oh, man. All right, so here's what we got. Pulling that up.
Our very, very last Ignite of this series is tomorrow, hosted by Austin and Tanya.
Yeah.
So come live to that so that you can celebrate everyone in Ignite. Great job, this series. We will probably take a little bit, a month or so off from Ignite for the holidays, and then maybe recontinue starting again in January. So if you missed any from this series, or if you're interested in taking any of the sessions, look for that probably coming at the beginning of January. But otherwise, hope to see everyone in Ignite tomorrow to celebrate. And then what else do we have going on? Fall masterminds. Tanya's going to be live streaming. Tanya, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, it's Thursday is Masterminds. It actually runs on Wednesday as well, so we won't be watching that. But it goes in deep on business planning with different events and setting your one thing and doing a life by design. So the masterminds are where you get to engage and hear from other people that are talking about what they're doing, what's been working, and what you can do.
That's great. And then the fall masterminds are hosted by MAPS Coaching. So Tanya's going to be hosting that live here in the training room. So pop in on Thursday for that. On Thursday at 3:00, we have a luxury mastermind. That is for luxury agents by invite only. If you are interested in joining luxury or learning more about luxury, talk to Jenny Hill or Linda Heinrichs to learn more. And then you can get invited to join these and get involved in the discussion. We want to encourage you to grow your luxury business. But speak to them if you are interested in that. And then an exciting thing we want to talk about that's happening in a few weeks is our business planning clinic that we are hosting here at the office. It's going to be October 20th and 21st. And it's going to be broadcast here in this room, in person here. Space is going to be limited. So we're going to you can either RSVP to the front desk right now to Brian. We will be creating an Eventbrite link soon, but if you RSVP to Brian, we'll take care of that link for you. But it's basically 2 days, 4 hours each day of a intensive business planning workshop. You will come out of that with your business ready to go for 2022. It's such a good time to plan and get organized with your leads, with your organization. Austin, do we have a graphic for that in one sec? But it's going to be 10 to 2 both days, and we will have lunch served both days. Next week, we'll dig in a little bit more on the importance of business planning, but just make sure to mark your calendars because it is a little bit of a time commitment, but it's definitely worth it to commit that to organizing your business for next year. So October 20th and 21st, 10 to 2. It's hosted by Gene Rivers from Keller Williams University, one of the most sought after instructors of this. So it's taught once a year. This time of year, it's business planning season. Do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I would say Gene Rivers is the #1 instructor for this particular class. And I've gone to it, I think, pretty much every year that I've been at this company. I think I agree that it's one of the most sought after trainings in the entire Keller Williams curriculum. It is actually just the building blocks of your business, how to set your business up for growth. And so, and Gene happens to have a good perspective, which I liked. I think a few years ago, he said he had 90 single family rental homes and multiple commercial buildings that he's acquired and invested in over the years. And he does talk a little bit about how you do that. And so, if you don't have a solid foundation in terms of your technology and your accounting and everything else, as you grow, things will tend to be a lot more frustrating for you. So this is the perfect time of year. They have it in the fall. Things are usually slowing down business-wise, and it's time to restructure and be in place, set for when the calls start to come after the holiday.
Awesome. So let us know if you have any questions, and if you're interested, watch for that Eventbrite link, but otherwise, just let Brian at the front desk know that you're interested, and we'll save you a spot. We will print out, we'll have all the printed materials for you to, work along that day. Lunch, food, everything you need, we will have. Awesome. Is that up on the screen now?
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Thank you to everyone who came out last week to Contract Furnishings Mart. It was such a great team meeting. They were so great. They hosted us. Their discount program that they put together is the Builder discount. So thanks for orchestrating that, Dwight. That's great. I mean, they have a whole box of brochures they dropped off here for us. So you guys can start putting those in your listing packets if you want, or anything. And we kind of talked about it 2 weeks ago, but this is such a great way to touch base with your clients in between when you sell them homes, right? Like all those years in between. So just another reason to stay in touch. And the discount is across the board on their flooring, carpeting, tiles, cabinets, and their showroom. A lot of us went last week, and it was great to just check it out, and they gave us a tour and told us all about the trends and flooring, and there's a lot to know now. So anything you want to add on that?
Yeah, I would just add, this is a fantastic tool. The reason that I've been doing this for 20 years is with CFM is it's a fantastic tool to add value to your relationship with all of your clients and friends. It doesn't have to be a client. It can be anyone you know that mentions they want to redo their house in some way. These guys do it all. And as you know, if you were there, they have a list of contractors that are reputable contractors that work with them, that they have learned over the years, have the highest positive feedback. And so it's just a great way for our agents to start immediately reaching out to their clients. We know, just go look at Home Depot and Lowe's stock since COVID hit. We know that people stayed home and then realized they needed to upgrade their houses. And so you can dig in on this right away. I've had a number of texts and calls from people in the office that are already doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You mentioned that commercial agent you talked to yesterday.
Oh, yeah. So I was just talking to someone, good point, thank you, in the office that asked if we could do this for commercial properties. And the answer is any property, anything you need carpet for. It could be a vacation home, could be vinyl for your home construction center, whatever it is, they have it. So there's no restrictions on where the materials go. So anyway, keep it in mind.
I talked to the rep. It was funny. I was talking to the rep, and he goes, "Yeah, this floor, we provided that." It's like, so they provided their own floor because they're in their commercial property. We're commercial property, and we can get it here too. So.
Well, guess what? They provided this floor that we're on here.
There you go.
So the LVT, which is the wood-looking floor, and the carpet came from CFM. So it's an excellent source. They're right in our market territory. It's like a mile up the street. And they're right off the freeway. So it's super good. And I learned, so here's something cool. I didn't realize it, but they have like 6 offices in Seattle, I think, or in the Seattle area, Bellingham, Bellevue, all around the Seattle area. They just opened one in Bend, and they have one in Phoenix. And so, I have clients that are buying properties we've had clients move to Phoenix. I've had clients move to Seattle. And I've been remiss in not working this as a way to keep in touch with those clients to potentially have referrals back to me in Portland. So remember that there's so much potential here that we can tap into because they have multiple locations and they do so many things. They do everything for the home, I think, pretty much, except, electrical, plumbing, and roofing. They do all the other surfaces.
So cool. Well, thanks everyone who took the trip out last week. So we want to give a welcome to all of the agents who have joined us in the last month or so, month and a half. So Nicole Kendra, welcome back to the TLK team with Tony Kelly. Matt Spadoni joined us from John L. Scott, so welcome, Matt. Angela Malaman, new agent, so welcome to the business. Jim Miller, a commercial agent, so welcome. He was with Berkshire Hathaway in California, and then with a commercial firm here, SVM Embry. So Jim, we're glad you're here. Carrie Adams, a new agent, new to the business, so we're glad you're here. Scott Salter joined us from John L. Scott. So happy you're here. Kay Grenning, welcome back. Kay, she was at John L. Scott recently, so we are so happy Kay is back, along with Laura Fabrici, also welcome back from John L. Scott. And along with them, they also brought Jill Hopple from John L. Scott, also who is newer to the business. Ryan Gay, welcome. He is a commercial agent on Denise Brahowski's team. Tyler Nelson, new to the business, welcome. Beth Hall, and new to the business, I believe, on Kim and Terry's team. And Tony Lupe, Lexi Dillon, and Michael Mercado Smith are all new on the Fox team. So we're glad you guys are all here. Kristen Walagora, welcome as a new agent. And Josh Burks, also a welcome back from John L. Scott. So that was a mouthful, but we are so happy that you are all here. So give all of them a warm welcome when you see them in the halls. And thank you guys all. We're happy that you're here. So let's talk about these postcards. I don't know if we have a slide for this, but if you've been coming on these meetings, you've been hearing us talk about these postcards. We ordered a bunch of them because we wanted to just give you guys another tool in your tool belt to send out to clients. So it's the top reasons to list and sell your property this fall. And there's the jumbo size and the regular size. And the reason we created this is these are, here, you want to hold on?
Yep.
They are great reasons, right? They're actually compelling reasons to help your clients have a little urgency this fall, right? Before we get into the holidays, we're kind of back to that regular seasonality that we have in Oregon, which is weird because we skipped it last year. So we're as we're starting to kind of feel it, we're going to want to push that urgency. Oh, nice slide, right? They look nice up there.
Found it. Brian posted something about this on Facebook yesterday, so I'm kind of plagiarizing his.
I love it. I love it. Let's go through these reasons just because they're so good. Okay, first one. Potential tax code changes that could significantly impact your bottom line. So that's important to know, right? There's a lot of things on the table with like 1031 exchanges and capital gains and all, we don't really know what's going to happen, but they're probably not going to be good, right? For people making money on selling their properties, right? So that is a pretty compelling reason, right? Okay, number two, the highest property values in history. Fact, right? You can show any of the reports to kind of show that. The Altos, the branded Altos. Record-breaking low interest rates. Now, what's interesting about that one is what did the rates do last week? Started to go up. So don't wait for them to continue on the trajectory. That makes that one even more impactful, right? Especially for sellers and buyers. So not only were they low, they're starting to like that.
Yep.
Okay, want to read the next one, Dwight?
Well, we all know about less inventory to compete against due to seasonality. In a few minutes, we'll do a quick brush through the Altos season inventory in some of our communities that we are selling homes in. But we all know that if there's fewer homes to sell, the odds of selling the home you have is much higher. So that's another big reason to sell right now. Mm-hmm. And I actually have listings and have talked to people that we've just closed on sales, or we have listed, or we have under contract that are selling because they came on the market because they realize how low the inventory is. And one of these homes had a really, really steep driveway. They knew it would be a challenge if there was a lot more inventory. And another one that I have on the market that's not sold backs to a busy street. They know that they have the best chance of getting the most money when there's not a lot of choices except a home that backs to a busy street. So what you'll find, what I've learned over the years, is if homes have inherent limitations that a lot of people don't like, this is the time to sell them when there's nothing to choose from. So anyway, that's another really, really good one.
Mhm.
So go ahead.
Okay, buyers and sellers have adapted to transacting despite COVID. True. COVID is old news by now, right? Like if you haven't learned how to carry on with life and figure out how to do business and keep going, right? You know, you've been living in a shell, right? So there's all kinds of protocols and things that people have implemented, even if your sellers are very, very COVID conscious, right? So we are skilled at that now. Fall is Oregon's most spectacular season. I was just driving the other day, noticing how there's so many beautiful red trees all around right now. So it looks beautiful, like in so many people's yards. So before it gets real sad and rainy. And the market is not guaranteed to continue next year, right? Like I'm sure a lot of us get asked by clients, like, what do you think is going to happen next year? We don't know. We know what's happening right now, right? We're going to talk about what's going on in the market and what we think will happen, but we know it's a really good time to sell right now. So we have these postcards available. Who knows how much we're charging for these? Someone on Zoom. We have lots of hands up in the room on Zoom. It's a trick question because nothing is the answer. We want you to take advantage of these and send them out to your clients. So they're blank on the back, so you can put your branding, you can print it, you can handwrite it, you can do whatever you want. But there's piles in Austin's office. So just come in and get a stack of them and send them out. But they'll only be applicable for like the next month or so to really send out. I mean, I guess maybe November still fall, but you want to get them out probably in the next month or so. So come by, see Austin, get a stack of postcards, mail them out, let them know how we can help. So,
And I think the way to look at this is, I believe the postage is around 30 cents, plus or minus, maybe 38, 35, 33. If you took 100 and you wrote a personalized note on them next week and mailed them out for $38, I promise you, you will get a call from someone. And there's room to write. So you could also speak to our builder pricing relationship with Contractors Furnishing Smart if they've thought about doing anything with their home. So this is the time to get it out. $38 for 100 personalized contacts is ridiculously cheap. And we know that these points are really all the key reasons that people have that they might hesitate. So anyway, come in and get them. This is the time to get these out, not in January, now, because now is the time to get people on the market when the inventory is ridiculously low.
mhm.
We're on borrowed time with these really, really low interest rates. And as soon as they start going up, if the economy isn't a lot stronger than it is right now, prices are gonna stabilize and possibly even drift down a little bit in some price points. So this is the time.
Yes. So that kind of leads us into today's discussion, right? We're in Q4. There is no Q5, so we have one more quarter to finish the year strong. So let's talk about what's going on in the market, what's to come, how to speak intelligently about the numbers and what's going on. And we have our wonderful local specialist, John DaCosta. John, hello.
I get to unmute that.
Yes, you sure do. Thanks for joining us and sharing with us your expertise.
Austin's got some slides. Austin, put them up there. If my skills were better, I'd be sharing my screen, but I'm not there yet on technicals.
Austin enjoys it. Austin.
Yeah, he's good. He's really
He
good.
doesn't ever mess it up.
Okay, what we're looking at here is, know your numbers, because we're in a numbers business. If you don't like math, you probably won't like real estate. We wear masks today. So I put that slide in there that things are changing. Think about, over the years that Dwight and I have been doing this, wearing a mask into a bank and wearing a mask everywhere is kind of strange, but we'll do it. So what we have as topics are COVID, interest rates, supply of housing, government programs, forbearance, foreclosures. Some of these things are new to some of our people. So we'll take a little bit of a look at these things. These are the things that I think are making our lives much more interesting. So Austin, let's go to the next slide. One more. Okay, Case Shiller is probably one of the top people in the business. And if you stare at that map long enough, you'll see what they're predicting. We went down in 08, we covered some ground, and look what they say happened in the last couple of years. We climbed a mountain, and Shiller is saying we're going to fall off the mountain. That with all of these things happening, we're not going to be improving. That's a little misleading because everything above the midline is still positive. It's just less positive. So instead of a 20% appreciation, they're predicting for next year, 2%. So that line's going to come back to about a level market. So that's, I believe if you don't think things are changing, you might be wrong. Next slide. The price decreases are increasing. So many sellers and their realtors are saying, I gave it a shot at this price. And some of these prices we've seen this year were definitely seller prices. Since June, the move in the market is, I better get my price down to get my house sold. Next slide. So it's happening.
That's a pretty big change from what we had seen for a while, right?
Yeah, so if you like a real supercharged, sugar-coated jet fuel market, you're going to have to look in the rearview mirror, because that's what we just ended. Now we're going back to people that need houses. So 38% of the listings that eventually closed had adjusted their price. So it's already happening. It's not coming, it's here. Next slide. These are pretty interesting things, but in these next three slides, let's just take a look at how we were kind of bumping along, everything's fine. Then we soared, and now we're coming back to earth. So the next three slides are basically the same stuff. We really hit some high notes, and now we're returning back. So the next slide, homes sold above the list price. That's kind of interesting. A whole bunch of people paid more than full price in Oregon. That was exciting. Not much fun with multiple offers, but so that's tailing back down. Okay, next one's a repeat, so we'll go past that one. It just basically, we're in the shift. Okay, here's what the government thinks we're doing. They don't know that we've shifted. Government looks back. The data they're looking at, this is the Federal Reserve, and they don't reflect what's happened in the last 90 days. So you're still going to see stuff in the media that says, wow, it's the great market. So this is what the Federal Reserve is using, and it's flat incorrect.
Hey, John, can I just jump in really quickly? You just made an awesome point. As we sit with our clients, and I want you to speak to this, do they have a time lag also when we're talking to them about listing houses?
A timeline?
Time lag. Just
Oh,
like.
absolutely,
like the Fed.
absolutely. When they go to church or their tennis club or whatever, all most of our clients are hearing is that our friends and family that did sell got some numbers that were wonderful, and I'm thinking that I'll sell and I'll get a wonderful number. Well, you missed it.
Hey, John,
Those incredible numbers are behind us. They're still good. We're not losing, but we're not soaring anymore. Is that Peter's got something?
well, I was just gonna say, when you looked at the price decreases and called it a shift,
Yes,
that's just going back to normal.
exactly.
The average is 35%, between 30 and 35% in a normal market. So we're just, I don't look at it necessarily as a shift, but as a return to a new normal, that this is what we expect this time of year. So it doesn't freak me out.
Exactly.
Doesn't freak me out.
And Peter, time of the year happens every year. We have a slide coming up that shows you time of the year. Let's see. Austin, if you go to the one that's really up and down, looks like a sawtooth. And then we'll kind of come back. But this is normal. Let's see, we're three more slides. That's normal, guys. So, but this year is going to be a little bit more normal because we kind of hit some highs. You can see that line is clear up at 140, but every fall people start worrying about soccer and back to school, and will Oregon State win a football game, and other things become mindful to us.
Yes is the answer to the football question.
Absolute first place, buddies. First place. But when we talk about normal, get used to that graph there. That is normal. So during the year, we have ups and downs, and our clients don't study real estate every day. So the reason that Dwight and I put these numbers up here, and Corinne, it's just so that you guys get real familiar with the data, because you have a job of educating your clients. And the good news in today's world is the clients get on Zillow and Redfin and Keller Williams, and they search the inventory, and saves us about a third of what we used to do. Like today, I don't know of many realtors that are showing 50 houses because you'd kind of do it all online. So I believe in knowing your numbers is very, very important. Let's go to the next slide, Austin, and kind of look around. The other thing to notice is not everywhere's the same.
John, do you want to go back to some of those slides we skipped over?
No, not necessarily. We're going to send this out to everybody.
Okay.
The ones we skipped over is kind of the supply of land and lots and all that. And basically my comment about that, Portland needs 25,000 new homes every year. And we are building 8,000. This is our 5th year. So Portland, and my friend Pat Stone said, we couldn't screw this market up if we tried, because we just cannot create the number of lots. And so those slides, when you guys look at those in detail, it just proves that, like new homes in Lake Oswego, as ludicrous as this sounds, the average new home in Lake Oswego is well over $2 million. And we have people running around saying affordability is a problem. Duh. But you have to choose. You have to take your budget, go out into the market and buy your house. There is no guarantee in life that somebody's going to build you a house that thrills you and fits in your budget. So get used to, we're representing people that can afford to buy in today's environment. So I kind of cringe when people say affordability. Our houses haven't been affordable for a long, long time. But this gives you the spread of, it doesn't mean you have to live in Lake Oswego. It doesn't mean you have to live in any of the towns. That gives you kind of a spread that if you go a couple miles outside of Lake Oswego to Tiger and Tualatin, the houses are much more affordable. And I want to make sure our agents aren't afraid to show all over the spectrum. When people are looking in a price range, kind of get them used to the fact that there's many price ranges and there's many sub-markets in our area. Okay, let's see, what do we got next, Austin? Let's see. Well, back to this is the Bible. This stuff this ought to be, in your memory. And the box that says we're now up to 1 month supply of inventory, having finished most of 2021 below 1 month's inventory. The comment here is average inventory around the country over the last 50 years is 6 to 7 months. So that you would have 6 to 7 months worth of inventory to choose from. Our buyers today don't have that. And this gives you a nice, when we're talking about know your numbers, there they are. They're just, those are the numbers, how many sales, how many listings. So we can go to the next slide. It's a little more detailed. That's the overview. Take a look at the submarket you're working in, get yourself familiar with these numbers. The significant ones are market time is microscopic and we are returning to earth, but we're still in a fabulous market. The market we're in right now would be in the top 2 or 3 all time. And we're calling it a shift back to normal. So it's all good. Know these numbers. The next one is just a nice overview. So in your conversations, mail your postcards, follow it up with a phone call, and use these, put these on your desk, because if they ask you a question, you can answer it absolutely accurately using these data. What's happening, and then I put some TMOs in there. The next 3 slides are basically TMOs. And that's your getting down to your submarkets. And notice all the sales are above 100%.
And then wait, John, let me just do a quick chime in here on some of these reports. So the report that John was just showing, that RMLS market action report, is emailed to everyone from RMLS every month. If you can't find it in your email, you can just log into RMLS and it's like a link right on the website down, I think it's down on the bottom. Okay. So that's always a great source for data, right?
Yes.
Then we provide for you the TMO, which stands for Total Market Overview reports, which also come out every month every week. I'm sorry. Every week. And those are divided out by housing and then our single family homes and condos. Correct. And per RMLS area. So those are great. They have a ton of numbers on there. Some people see those and like panic because it's like so many numbers. It's such good info. So if you have never taken the time to go dig in there, look at Austin's showing you where to get to those on the KWVP agents website under resources. And those are actually uploaded right there every week, right? So you just pop on and download those to go there. Then the Altos reports are the ones that you sign up for, and then you can just always go to the website to pull those reports. And those are updated weekly. And then those you can dial down by city and zip code. So all of those are all great resources of information, but I think it's just really important to just kind of like hone in on where you get the information and being able to speak to whichever tools you use, really knowing it, right? Because that is what's going to set everyone apart as the economist of choice for our clients, and having that handy and knowing it.
And Corinne, when we do our schedules today, in the old days, we used to have to go tour the inventory on Tuesdays. Now you just open up your computer and you see a 3D video. You know what I mean? So when you really do need to know these numbers because your clients are totally relying on you. If you know the basics, then you can sort of get into the forbearance, foreclosures, and all the, what are interest rates doing? Does everybody in the room know the interest rates no longer start with a 2?
Yeah, right.
And my funding on Friday, I sold one on the Stone Creek golf course. He got a fixed at 2.5. Today it would have been 3. You know what I mean? I don't know what's that, $300 a month probably. So don't count on the interest rates to fill your commission jar.
And that house had a great listing agent.
Yes, it did. It
Mhm.
did. And Dwight, let's tell everybody in the room, we did, it was Dwight's listing, no repairs. The seller had prepped the house. This is a 1.6 million house. There was a couple of little things. His seller had them fixed before we had any addendum noting repairs. Get your house in perfect shape. It really takes the pressure off the realtor, which I believe is the critical part of our business.
Hey, John, to be fair, I'll just add this. Marcella did most of the work. And this is the house where they were going to get their upstairs recarpeted. And they had a number they didn't like. And so we sent them to CFM with my contractor. And they were surprised to find out that their builder was adding a margin to what he was paying for the carpet and charging them for installation. And so, they're pretty excited because we sold that house, at a great price. It's an amazing house, one of my all-time favorites. So, and Marcella actually was the one that did all the work and just kept me informed.
And Dwight, share with the people, how long had they lived in this house?
Boy, I think it was a total of 5 months.
Well, it was May 15th. It was 90 days.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, my goodness.
And they made $175,000 more than they paid in May.
Whoa.
Well, and then the lesson there, John, is your point was they had done all the heavy lifting. The house was immaculate. They were immaculate type people. But backing up, it was an A house. It had everything that someone would want today. And they recognized that when they bought it. And, those are the houses that appreciate the most. So as realtors, this is the guidance we have to give to our clients when they're out looking for things. We have to make sure they know the differences between the homes that they're going to look at. So anyway, that was the story on this one.
Well, 2 last points. The buyer was a custom home builder. And he said, I couldn't build that house for anywhere close to what I can buy it for. And the criteria they gave Priscilla and I, he was newly remarried. He was a widower and got married. He's real happy and he wanted to buy a house for his wife. Their only criteria is it had to be on the Willamette River. So they bought on the Stone Creek Golf Course.
Yeah, in Oregon City.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Funny.
That's like the best story.
That is funny.
So tell
Mhm.
So then we got Austin, let's take a look at the debt clock. We kind of use that. It's fun. The
Tell everyone what this is, just for people who don't know.
okay, see the name is usdebtclock.org. That's the website. And they have a button for all kinds of stuff. And there's Oregon. So occasionally someone will ask you what's the population of Oregon. It's 4.3 million now. Oregon is 4 million square miles. So we live at about 1 person per square mile. And those are the numbers. How big's our economy? It's 247 billion, I guess there. Counting Phil Knight in there, that's good. So US debt clock and the Oregon stats are kind of fun. There's some really cool stuff at the bottom. And speaking of that, we'll go to the next slide and start wrapping up here. Go back to your basics, and Corinne did it real nice with those postcards for free. If you can't send out free postcards, you're not a real committed realtor. But current buyers, prospects, fears, send your thank you notes, hold your opens, tour the inventory, grab a buyer and go see some houses and review your goals and update where necessary, because we're going to run out of year. And hopefully you made all your goals. That's the purpose of all this. And that's why your families rely on you. So, sprint to the finish. That's how the people do it. And then I had 2 bonus slides.
I love it.
That's Mount Rushmore from the Canadian side. And our most celebrated realtor this year. Next slide.
I saw that. I've seen that. Idaho is booming, yes. No
Idaho-
matter what political side you're on.
Idaho is, the numbers don't even fit on the chart anymore.
They know, we sit on these regional calls in the Keller Williams in Idaho. It's
Yeah,
huge. Yeah, it's huge. So that's funny.
So that's good. But anything from the crowd, anything, forbearance, foreclosures, though the forbearance is just coming up literally this week. Many of the banks are going off their foreclosure right now. And I listened to a pod last night about some foreclosure. Some investors are pretty excited about the upcoming foreclosures. And I'm not understanding, if you've got equity in your house, why would you allow it to be foreclosed? Seems kind of silly. There's a couple of reasons. While in forbearance, your credit rating might have gone down and made you unlendable. So you might be stuck in a foreclosure on a house that you have, pretty good equity, but your darn credit score is not going to allow you to refinance. You got to sell it. So I think the inventory that says now we have 1 month's inventory, that could in the next 90 days jump surprisingly high, because a whole bunch of people are going to be told, and that's why I'm recommending everybody run a credit score on yourself. Because if your credit score got wounded, because how about the people that won't get a vaccine, and they're now like the nurses and firefighters, all these people that do not want to get a vaccine, you also cannot refinance your house because you're unemployed. These are not the typical reasons for foreclosures. This is a very interesting time. So there are people that are saying, there's investors going, I think it's going to be a nice buying opportunity. Prices are cooling off and inventory is rising. And maybe somebody in the crowd has a story about that, but we should be getting calls from people going, hey, tell me about forbearance and foreclosure and what are the interest rates? The clients are going to wake up to the fact that the market has shifted.
And I think
The media might cover it. I don't know. The media might cover it.
I think it's really important, because if the media covers, oh, interest rates are going up, they're back in the 3s, we have to be able to speak intelligently to that, as why that means it's actually a great reason to get moving, right? And actually knowing the numbers and knowing the data. There's a reason why Keller Williams agents thrive in a shift, whether or not we are going into an actual like downshifting market. The market is changing, right, and shifting in that regard. And Keller Williams agents thrive because we are intelligent business people, right? You have to know the numbers. You have to know the market. You have to be able to really understand what's going on so that you can speak it to your clients, especially like the newer agents. That gives you the credibility. I love, Peter always quotes the Mark Twain quote. Peter, what is it? There's liars.
Liars, damn liars, and then there's statistics.
Right.
In that order. But the point, and John brings, the media might cover it. They will. They'll cover it in about 3 months, what's happening today, because they don't have any of the information or care to have the information that John presented for the most part, other than Case-Shiller. For instance, they reported last month that the appreciation was 18%. It's actually between 10 and 11 currently.
Correct.
So
Correct.
they're all behind, but that's our advantage. We know. So when somebody calls and says that, you can tell them, if you're knowing your numbers, you can tell them what's really going on.
Yeah, perfect.
Guys, I'll throw a couple of things out there. School district has always been important. Today, there are school districts that require masks and school districts that don't require masks. And there's new things that we never thought about before. There's crime stuff happening that is staggering. That there's parts of our market area where crime is a huge issue, and we have to be careful how we talk about that. But if you are going to buy a house, they're starting to look at crime statistics. You'll see on Zillow and Redfin, and all crime statistics are being put out there because we have crime as an issue. And I wish we didn't. I wish the schools were great. and no issues. And, you know, there's all kinds of stuff that kind of start in the political world, but it affects house decisions. It really does. And when my client bought Dwight's house, the reason they gave up on the Willamette Riverfront, try to find a perfect house out of how many houses are even on the Willamette? 200? 300?
Yeah, one for sale at any given time.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, they will choose from what is in front of them, and they will spend the budget that they have. And that's just the market that we're in. So it's nice to be appreciated, guys. As realtors, you know, it's a good time for us.
Hey, John, can I ask you a question? I think it'll be interesting for people to hear the answer. How did you pivot your people from the Willamette River to a golf course property in Oregon City?
Drove my new Genesis with my mask on. No, I just kept sending them what's available. And this house didn't meet any of their criteria until they looked at the pictures. And then they called me and they said, well, that's not our area, but find that house on, you know, had to have a view or had to have water. Well, it was just a really strong house. Dwight had those sellers prepared to sell quickly.
And speaking of pictures, it was Virtuance.
Oh, okay.
It was awesome.
With
And John-
discount, right?
And we also did the drone video because it was looking up a golf course. So did they look at the drone video, John?
Yeah, well, the whole presentation was, they looked at it like 3 times on paper before they even asked us to go look at it.
Hey,
You know what I
John,
mean? They did not want to buy there, but they did. And it
Hey,
was the
John?
best house for them. Yes, Peter.
could you get a few of my golf balls out of their yard and get them back to me, please? Hey, listen, I can tell you that I can't tell you how many Oregon City homes I've sold for people who only want to live in Lake Oswego. So they think they know, you have an obligation to widen their vision, if you will.
They get to pick from the whole basket. And sometimes we listened to what they said and we didn't understand what they meant.
Yeah,
That's good.
Well said.
Yeah. It's a mistake to take people too liberally, right?
Buyers are, I think it's called buyers are liars, but they don't know it.
Yeah. John, I have one more question for you. So when you're doing a search for those buyers, were you searching for them daily or did you have them set up on a search?
Well, I sent them a link so they can look. He's one of my builders, so he's always looking at the market. They weren't even looking for a house. They just got married. He has a house, he has a house. They're beautiful houses. And they just one night said, why don't we buy a house? And they're financially able to do what they want. And so it's kind of an interesting deal. But when they called, Priscilla said, let's go to the beach this weekend. I said, no, Craig wanted to look at that house. And Priscilla says, let's go to the beach this weekend. They're not going to buy it. And I didn't go to the beach.
And what was the sale price that kept you from the beach?
1.6 million, which if it was in Lake Oswego, it's below the curve. With Lake Oswego's numbers, when you guys start comparing Lake Oswego 97034, especially to other parts of the city, it's unbelievable. It's truly remarkable. But the good schools, good everything, prices are real high. And just like Idaho's discovering, Idaho's lifestyle is very attractive. Bend's lifestyle is very attractive. It's turning into huge real estate appreciation. That's cool. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and I like that, the sentiment of what you're saying is that even if our clients think that they're tied to one specific city or one specific school district, that it's our jobs to kind of open their eyes or to really understand what it is that is so desirable to them about those specific areas, and maybe expand a little further. So I love that. And then you just touched on something else a little bit ago that I want to go back to, is that when in these types of markets, it's when agents have so much more value, right? Like in the market of 5 months ago, or, when you could just, anyone could just put a sign in the yard and get multiple offers, right? Like that's when the, commission got a lot more, criticism, right? And you do start to see the articles of the criticism of realtors get paid too much money, right? But in markets that get more challenging, and as you're more knowledgeable, the value of the agent goes up so much more. Want to add to that?
No doubt. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. You build market share in a changing market. This is the market. We need this market to get tougher so that our agents will stand out.
Mhm.
And if you're applying yourself and you're working hard, that's when you build clients for life using these tools. That's why we're adding all these tools this year for our agents to separate them from everyone else that an owner listens to.
Mhm. So you guys can be the eagles flying above.
I agree.
Altos, you want to do the Altos?
Yeah. Wade Austin's got one more to show.
Hey, John, so I just wanted to, I also pulled up some really quick views of Altos inventory.
Yes.
And so the inventory's on the bottom. Can you scroll up? There you go. No, just one page.
Oh, it's here?
There you go, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so these are the different communities that we tend to work with, and we only have a couple minutes, so do we know which one this is? This is Westland. Look
No
at the
title.
No, I saw it at the
Oh.
top, it was Westland.
Westland, so the inventory is going up,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Okay, and does that usually happen in October?
No.
Nope.
No. Why is the inventory going up right now and when it usually goes down?
Well, it goes down because people don't want to be messed with during the holidays, you know what I mean? Families in town and the weather's crummy and all that stuff. But today, there's a lot of, I think the forbearance people are going to be listing. I think the people that missed the boat on huge prices are going to be listing now. So I agree with the people that said the inventory is going to greatly increase. The prices won't go down though. That is a big issue, and Altos and all the other data sources that we use. Prices aren't going to go down. They're just going to kind of hang where they are. But I don't see anybody predicting that we're going to be losing money on any of the areas. So this is a good soft landing.
Let's
And
go.
the other thing to notice for the people in the crowd, the super expensive houses are selling. You know what I mean? Randy sold that one on Troon. A new house on Troon went for $4 million. The Island has an offer, whatever they're doing at the Island, at 20 million. Barbara Ellison's house in Wilsonville is on the market at 20 million. A house at the beach that I always kind of admired has been for sale for 5 million for a long time. It just closed. It's right near Picture Windows, one that the office had. But a $5 million waterfront house that all my friends in Cannon Beach said, oh, there's no way, that's crazy. It closed. So I think that my memory of this super duper market will be the ability that the super high end had to clear some inventory. Because when you look at $10 million houses, you kind of go, yeah, right, that'll sell. They actually do. But yeah, Altos is great stuff, and it's real robust. Click a few buttons and go to all the different levels.
Yeah, and this is Tigard. So you can see Tigard going up next.
Yep.
This is Sherwood. Keep going, right there. Sherwood is going up, maybe not as dramatically. This is
Well,
Wilsonville.
If
Well,
there's
that's-
new homes, if you've got some new homes, that adds to inventory. Portland is really, really shy of new homes. So
Yeah.
Wilsonville, if you went back through your Altos on Wilsonville during the Villebois days, huge increases because of all the new stuff. Now there's very little increase in Wilsonville. You know, we're getting Frog Pond off the ground, but new homes used to be a big part of our world. And in Portland, it's just not like the old days.
So let's go to the next one. If I'm working with a buyer that dropped off the radars, this is Tualatin, And I was working with them in the first half of the year and there was nothing. And maybe we wrote some offers on properties where there were 5 to 10 offers and they just said it's not the right time. Now we have rates creeping up a little bit, which will take some of the froth off. But more importantly, the inventory is actually going up in the fourth quarter. It doesn't usually go up. And so the opportunity to buy at, today, 3 to 3.25% is still amazing. So this is like a fourth quarter gift. Okay, keep going.
And if not, it might even be better, like the interest went up a little bit, but to not have 20 offers you're competing
Yeah,
against, right?
exactly.
There's this
More-
perfect cross section right now.
Yep, so that's Lake Oswego going up. Keep going. That's it. Okay, so that's just a snapshot of some of the communities that we work in. And again, if I had buyers that I was working with, or if I'm an open house holding an open and someone comes through and they don't know what's going on, I would be showing them these slides on my iPad or my computer saying, hey, here's what's going on. Your opportunity to buy is going to be a lot better in the holidays. And guess what most people do? Most of your competitors in the holidays are enjoying the holidays. So if you want to get serious about buying a home, your opportunity is going to be a lot better in the next 90 days than it was in the second and third quarter.
Yeah, and talk about setting yourself apart at an open house, right? Really showing how much you know about the market.
Even in this moment, with interest rates just starting to creep up, you might be able to get a little bit better deal on a house. It's still not going down, it's still going up, but you're not paying a crazy much over, and you can still get a really good rate. So like at this moment, it seems like it's a great.
That's-
time.
Yeah,
One of the things that I love about the Altus reports, if you don't know how to speak or understand how to read it, they actually have great verbiage throughout the whole entire thing online and on the PDFs when you print them. So you just read it and it'll help you understand to be able to speak it to your clients.
that's,
Yeah.
I was saying, that's so good that you called that out. And then I was gonna say, they email you a video too. I don't know how often it is, if it's like once every 2 weeks or something, but the videos are great too, to like really understand, so to help you get used to just speaking to the reports, so.
Dwight, one last thing from my standpoint, nobody's refinancing. At this moment, in the next, 60, 90 days, because interest rates are rising, the refinances get turned off, which means that your mortgage broker buddy has time to help you prospect, because he's not going to be processing a whole bunch of refis. They're not coming.
Yeah, I mean, the refi market in the last, when the rates went under 3 again, and in fact, I was reading some, I actually had a client that refinanced on a 15-year at 1 7/8 on a 15-year.
Jeez.
That's going to all go away. Well, I shouldn't say it exactly that way. That will decline, right? And so, yes, the pressure will be off the mortgage people as well. And this is the time to get postcards out, to get your database organized. Come to the business planning clinic so you know what you need to do to build a foundation for the next 10 years of your business. And that's all I got to say on that.
I love it. Thank you for all the good info, Dwight. Peter, thank you for chiming in with all the great info. And John, of course, thank you for preparing all this and sharing all your knowledge on the numbers with the.
Oh, it's fun stuff. And my thanks to Austin. Next time
You lost it for driving.
Yeah. I'm
Awesome.
going to share my screen next time.
We'll get it down.
You practice. Okay, everyone, have a great day.
Everybody enjoy.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.